Ever have one of those days where you walk in somewhere and feel like the whole place is just waiting to tell you that you don't belong? That was me, bone-tired and just wanting to get home, dragging myself through Atlanta Airport, first-class ticket in hand, after 3 brutal weeks in court, fighting for families that nobody else wanted to see. I'm not new to being the odd one out, but that day it stung in ways I wish I could forget. The first-class lounge was a wall of tailored suits and polite, practiced stares. I settled into my seat, 2A, trying to blend in. But you know how it is. You can't blend in when folks have already decided what they see. Brittany, the flight attendant, breezed through the cabin with her perfect smile, pouring drinks for everyone like she was hosting her own little VIP club. When she got to me, my "can I have water, room temp, please?" got treated like background noise. Didn't even look at me, just turned and offered the man next to me his favorite bourbon, said his name, even got him a napkin. I tried not to let it show, just nodded and waited, telling myself, "It's nothing, let it go." But you know what I mean. These things pile up. Before we even took off, I'd already been skipped for the towel, ignored for the safety check, and when I asked again for water, Brittany rolled her eyes. "We're preparing for departure. You'll have to wait." Sure, Brittany. 30 seconds later, she's hand-delivering coffee to the guy in front of me. Yeah, that happened. That's the thing with little cuts. They never bleed right away, but the pain adds up. I buried myself in my legal notes trying to keep my head down, but even the old man next to me, Wall Street type, wedding ring, family photo on his phone, shifted away like my existence was an inconvenience. I could feel it in my bones. Years and years of this. And here I was, too tired to fight, still hoping I could just get home and rest. Meal service rolls around, and I get my hopes up. I'd ordered a vegetarian meal weeks ago. Brittany comes over, flat voice. "We're out of special meals." Says it like I'm trying to scam her. I can see half the cabin's empty plates. No way they were all taken. I ask her to check. She raises her voice just enough. "Ma'am, if I said there's none, there's none." And all I get is a bread roll and a wilted salad. No dressing, no fork. Everyone else gets a hot meal, napkin folded just so. I tried to laugh it off. Well, guess it's carb loading today. But it didn't really feel funny. After that, my legs start cramping from sitting so long. I see an open aisle seat a few rows up, and figure maybe if I move, I'll feel like a person again. The moment I stand, Brittany's on me. "You need to stay in your assigned seat. Airline policy." Not 5 minutes later, she lets a white guy switch seats, even helps him with his bag. No policy for him, I guess. By now, the whole cabin knows what's happening, even if nobody says a word. I press the call button because my in-flight screen is broken, and she walks past me 3 times. Then, loud enough for everyone, she mutters to a passenger, "Some people just want attention." He chuckles. Feels like I'm back in grade school, being picked apart because I don't fit. You ever been there? Makes you want to shrink, but also, sometimes, it makes you want to stand up and show them who you really are. Turbulence hits. We all buckle up. When it's over, I try to grab my meds from the overhead. Brittany snaps, "Ma'am, sit down." Like I'm a child. I tell her, I need my medication. She's not hearing it. Return to your seat. The seatbelt sign is off. People are moving around, but not me. That's when I felt something crack inside. 60 years of swallowing it, holding it in. I stood again, went for my bag, and Brittany barreled down the aisle. She shoved my shoulder, water pitcher tipped, ice-cold water straight down my lap and all over my case files. I gasped, not just from the cold, but from how quick everyone turned on me, like I'd started a riot. Brittany announces to the cabin, "Sorry for the disturbance, folks," like I was the problem. So there I am, soaked, humiliated, watching my documents turn to pulp, and still nobody says a word. I ask to clean up. She blocks my way. Return to your seat. I pull out my phone to take notes, and she snatches it right out of my hands. Security violation, she says, tucking it away. That was it. That's when I remembered who I was and what I carried in my bag. You want a twist? Here it is. I stood up, pulled out my wallet, and held it up for everyone to see. I'm Judge Nora Johnson, United States District Court. Brittany went pale. I called the one person who could do something, Lorraine Fields, head of the National Airline Association. Lorraine, it's Nora. Physical assault, destroyed documents, systemic discrimination, and no one intervened. She didn't even hesitate. All planes grounded until this is handled. Remain seated. CEO will meet you. You should have seen the crew's faces. When we landed, the CEO boarded, shook my hand, apologized, promised reform. Lorraine video-called the plane, announced operations were suspended across the airline. Brittany started crying. I didn't know. CEO just stared. That's exactly the problem. You shouldn't need to know who someone is to treat them right. Security took her away, and for the first time, the whole cabin went silent. Not with contempt, but with shame. Before I left, CEO asked me, "Why now? Why speak up after all that?" I told him, it wasn't the water or the words. It was the silence. Nobody stood up, and I realized this fight is bigger than me. I did it for my grandma who cleaned these planes, for everyone told to be quiet, sit down, act grateful, for every underdog who ever swallowed their pride just to get home in one piece. A few months later, I flew again. This time, a new crew met me with real respect. Not because of my title, but because things had changed. There was a little card in the seat pocket. Every passenger deserves dignity. If you witness discrimination, speak up. Guess what? I smiled. Sometimes you have to shake the whole system to remind people of their own humanity. So, let me ask you, if you'd been there, would you have spoken up? Is justice just about titles, or is it about standing up for what's right when nobody's watching? Drop your story, your anger, your hope in the comments. Let's talk about it, because this world changes one voice at a time.